tomorrow morning, the Senate Committee on Health, Education, and Labor and Pension, known as the HELP Committee, will be holding a hearing on exposing the dangers of chemical abortion drugs. And later in the afternoon, I'll actually be joining Senator Lindsey Graham, a couple of state attorneys general, as well as pro-life lawmakers from both the House and the Senate for a press conference on that issue as well. So tomorrow is going to be a big day for a very important topic, this issue of the abortion drug that is being mailed into the states. I've talked about this on the program a number of times. This is happening because of a policy put in place by the Biden administration after the overturn of Roe. They had an all-of-government approach. You might remember that term, designed to how they could circumvent the overturn of Roe v. Wade, allowing states then to pass pro-life laws, which about a dozen states have. They have ironclad laws protecting the unborn and their mothers. Well, what's happened is that abortion rates in the country have actually increased. That's right. They've increased since the overturn of Roe. Now you say, well, that doesn't make sense. They should have declined. They should have. But what's happened is that Planned Parenthood, we saw in the One Big Beautiful Bill, the closing, well, at least the 1 year defunding of Planned Parenthood, and then you heard they were closing all of their businesses or closing a number of their clinics. Well, nothing was happening at those clinics. They have, like Amazon, they've shifted their business model. They're actually mailing these abortion drugs in. And so over 70% of abortions are now done through abortion drugs. That's right. And these states that have pro-life laws are having those laws circumvented. Prior to the overturn of Roe, 933,000 abortions. Today, 1.1 million. Joining me now to discuss this, Congressman Marlin Stutzman, who serves on the House Budget Committee as well as the Financial Services Committee. He represents the 3rd Congressional District of Indiana. He joins us just off the House floor. The House is in a series of votes on a number of workplace measures, including an extremely important bill that is being voted on right now, H.R. 4593, Saving Homeowners from Overregulation with Exceptional Rinsing Act, or the Shower Act, revising the definition of shower heads. Congressman Stutzman, welcome back to Washington Watch.
Tony, always great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I hope we're getting the right kind of shower heads.
Sometimes you just think that things like this can't be made up, that Congress would have to deal with. But it shows you what has happened over time, that we just have so much government in Washington, D.C., to the point that agencies have to get involved with our shower heads. And Representative Fry, Russell Fry, great friend from South Carolina, has a bill to not allow the government to be getting that much involved. And so, of course, Democrats are fighting us on this. But we just feel that it's right that the federal government doesn't have to be involved to that extent, and that there should be definitions that are common sense. When it comes to water usage, of course, that's what the big issue is, the underlying issue.
Taxpayers certainly have taken a bath at the hands of the federal government, but now we're talking about showers. All right, let's talk about mifepristone, the abortion drug. You're going to be joining us tomorrow on this press conference over in the Senate side. Talk about the importance of this and why it matters.
Yeah, well, of course, we were all elated and so thankful that President Trump, of course, nominated conservatives to the bench, and that Roe versus Wade was overturned. And, now what we've seen, and again, Tony, we know that the abortion industry will never stop. They will never stop, and they're always going to find another way to aborting babies in America, and this is another way that they've done it, through the abortion pills and through easier regulations, through, of course, the Biden administration, and and that's what it's just so sad that here we had this great win, letting the states making decisions, and we're winning at the state levels. Not every state, of course, like California, New York, and Illinois, but a lot of the conservative states have strong pro-life legislation, but this abortion pill is one that we have got to address. In fact, we're seeing now more babies being murdered because of the abortion pill than what we've seen in the past. And this is something that I think that unfortunately, Tony, I think the abortion pill makes it almost easier in a lot of cases. People just take a pill and that's it. And we need to address this from a standpoint of just ethics and the character of our country, that this is something that we're not going to allow.
Well, they make it sound simple, but we now have a rise in health complications, women who are dying and ending up in the emergency room because they've been misled on the effects of this abortion pill. I mean, we just have about a minute left, Congressman Stutzman, but this is something that the Trump administration, the FDA, could change overnight.
Yeah, and I think that's what's important for us as, in the pro-life movement and the, conservative movement, those of us in Congress and the partnerships and coalitions that we have to just address this. And that's part of the reason, with the press conference, to bring attention to this matter. The FDA can move, and they can, again, President Trump is so willing to do executive orders, and the administration can move. We can do these things in the House and in the Senate. It's much more difficult, but at least the precedent could be set through the administration. I hope that that's the message that is sent. We want to be partners with the administration when it comes to pro-life policy, and so tomorrow is one of those days that we are going to be talking about an issue that we should be passing through Congress. We are, of course, going to attempt to. I'm sure Democrats are going to try to object at some point. Maybe we can get it done in a reconciliation package. It'll be difficult with the rules around that in the Senate, but we could definitely, of course, move just simply through the FDA, and I hope that that's what we'll be here tomorrow.
All right, Congressman Marlin Stutzman, I'll see you tomorrow on Capitol Hill.